Welcome to another edition live discussion on the G channel. Man, oh man, this is one that's gonna be pretty good. It's Ozark season 3, and if you've been watching Ozark, I don't know. I guess I get a little bit of background on me watching Ozark. Came out a couple years ago. Actually, I really do enjoy Jason Bateman, the main dude that's in it. If you've never seen, I know what I'm talking about. He's been in Arrested Development back as a kid, even in Silver Spoons. But if you haven't been paying attention over the last like 10 years, 10, 12 years, 15 years, something like that, he's been building his own resume in terms of like writing and directing and certain things like that. And I've noticed, I peeped it even throughout college. He came out with, certain videos like movies like Bad Words and stuff like that. Oh, so is that Nico? Is that Nico? All right. 1 second. Yo,
what the fuck is up? I ain't echoing. I'm out.
This man, you seen this man forever. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I ain't echoing. Am I?
No, you good. You good. Just make sure no radios and stuff like that. You out there mobbing. Chicago's fine. Everything's good.
Yeah. Come with the territory, Nothing major.
I was just basically just kind of setting up things real quick, just like giving the whole Ozark thing real quick.
All right, I ain't never did this with StreamYard. This is nice.
Like it? Yeah,
this is dope.
Because I hear me going through the speaker. Do you have like headphones or something like that?
Hold on. Damn it. Hold on.
And through like yeah, just 1 second. Like, get the headphones or something.
Hold on.
Turn down the radio because I can hear it like that. So it's technical difficulties. Basically, Jason Bateman has been doing a lot of dope shit. Essentially, it was all been going. Just saying before you got here, Nico. But even before Ozark, say if you ever watch Arrested Development, Bad Words.
Hold on. I'm gonna be right back.
Yeah, do your thing. I'm gonna go back to what I was saying. Yeah, this man's been directing, writing, doing the whole thing where it's just like, yeah, he knows what he's doing. And thinking about it, he's been in the business for about 40 years, so it makes a lot of sense. Season 3 picks up. Well, I guess I just talk about Ozark real quick. Basically, it's talking about Marty Byrd, a financial investor guy who has family, and apparently he allowed himself to get into drug money laundering for a cartel, for the Mexican cartel. And if you know anything about the Mexican cartel, they do not play. So it's a huge, tense, crazy, awesome thriller show. And it's one of the things where like, it throws off a lot of people, but then as soon as they start realizing what's going down, it's going down. One thing about Ozark is I always called it like the fast forward to Breaking Bad, where it's just like they always knew kind of the elements of like having a regular man, having going through certain things and strife in life, but like they didn't have the whole long, slow burn kind of process, because there's always a powder keg gonna happen because you got this cartel war going down. And like throughout the first 2 seasons, setting the whole thing up, having where the kids are involved, that's why I say it's fast forward. Like everything is thrown out the window in that first season. Second season, they're kind of go on and expand into the season 2. And now this new one where the cartel war is now at a bloom. Brian, what's going on, man?
Garrett, what's good, boy?
You see this man? I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
It's been a hot ass minute. I ain't seen you, in a few months. Honestly, I ain't seen you this year.
Yeah, man.
2020 want to play with us. I ain't seen you for a good half year now. You know what I mean?
We gotta chill out, man. We'll link it up, man.
We'll do.
All right, Nico, you hear me okay? You hear everybody else hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
We got you.
Good. Sounds perfect. But basically, I was just saying, Ozark for season 3. This is where the cartel war really like started to play a whole factor in, a huge factor into the whole thing. And I'm excited. Let me try to see. Gotta play around with that a little bit. he came into a whole nother freighter this time. And it's one of the things where, these last 2 seasons, you kind of felt it beforehand. This one is like, nah, dude, this is some El Chapo shit going on. Like, you got people getting hit at baby baptisms and stuff like that. You're like, okay, it's getting kind of real. So how did y'all feel initially, just instantly, just your feelings of the season?
It was good. It was on point. Enough thrills, hella drama. That shit don't end. And yeah, a lot more danger, a lot more stakes. Can't complain.
Yeah. This man got
what was the question? I'm sorry, I was fixing my headphones. What you say about the cartel?
Good, man. You're good. No, I understand. I was basically saying your feelings on the season, just in general, just abroad. Because I was like, man, I just feel like they ratcheted it up with this whole cartel thing. I'm like, I don't know what you're.
Yeah, man, and it's crazy because, like you said, they got in with the cartel, and like you saw in depth what the cartel was about. But now the next season, it seems like that is going to be cartel based, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like how they travel out there, and it's like he hugged them and he blew her after. He hugged them with the blood still on his face. I was like, are you kidding me, bro?
We're of course going to get to that. We're going to, of course, get to that because that's in everyone's mind, the last bit of it. I understand totally. I'm like, we'll get to that, nigga.
My bad.
You good, man. It's fair. You're fine, man. I was saying, basically, all I'm saying is right now, the first initial episode, like, because I was going through and looking at some episodes again before we started, I'm like, man, Wendy is really smelling herself this season. And
bro,
it's one of those things where I was like,
that sick, bro.
I love her as a character, but it's like, yo, you ain't right out here, Wendy. And then, like, a lot of people had to let her know this season. I appreciated that.
One thing I will say about the first episode of this season, I like how they introduced new characters without making it cheesy, like, say, Power, when they did the episodes and they were incorporating family members, and they were people that that you had no idea existed up until these episodes, like with Tate's episode.
Nico, I would like to say this is a different show than Power because, like, I got to do another video on that because I was about to tell you I have a whole nother thing about Power because it's handled differently than shows of other places.
I brought them up to say I didn't like that, and I was weary about, like, when I saw the trailer for Ozark and they mentioned Wendy's brother, and I saw Jason Sikora. Joseph Sikora, is it? Jason Sikora, the guy that plays Tommy?
Tommy from Power, yeah.
When I saw him in the trailer, I was kind of worried because, like, I didn't want their characters to interfere with what was already going on in Ozark. You know what I mean? But
I get you. Because usually when you see season 3, the person they add extra characters and it gets cheesy, it gets to that weird like. I understand exactly what you mean with that.
And that wasn't the case with Ozark, and I loved it.
But man, well, now that you said those 2 characters, I'm gonna have to go in on them because, like, now that you let's go with Joseph Sikora's character real quick. They basically just put Tommy. They just put Tommy in those. Like, because he was hard. I felt like he was going into the voice he would use for Tommy a little bit in the scene. I'm like, man, and he like the muscle car, the same. Like, it's just he's in Missouri now. This is what a Missouri dude would have versus him in New York.
It was almost like Tommy made a pit stop when he was driving from New York to LA. He just stopped his message and was like, Ozark, here we are.
Exactly. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna get another ride right quick.
As a controversial watcher here, I'm part of the community who doesn't watch Power. So I knew of him from Power because people be talking about it, but I was like, oh, it's that one dude. But no, I think with the addition with him and a few other characters, they add to a story, but they didn't take away from it. Between him and Wendy's brother, powerful characters on their own, but they just added to the story. They didn't like overshadow it, which is nice. Like, I think.
But with that said, in terms of acting ability, even though we both know from Joseph Sikora from previously, like, dude, the dude who played Wendy's brother though, like, man, he killed, buddy. He killed it in terms of his cameo. Because, like, man,
to his entrance into the show, bro. He's the guy. He ain't normal, bro. Oh no.
Yeah, they didn't even show the birds for like the first 5-10 minutes of it. They showed the cartel thing where they're blowing up, the cartel war. They're doing the whole like that. They had all the money out there.
Yeah,
a lot of people forgot about that scene, the original scene where the brother was introduced and the cartel scene, but those two scenes specifically were so out of context. I made myself remember it because I'm like, I don't know what's going on and why they're showing me this now, but I'm gonna make it my personal business to remember these two instances specifically because this is gonna be obviously going to be very important at some point.
I'm gonna be real. I was over here at first. I'm like, man, what? Because I was kind of like halfway watching it. I'm over here like, working from home, getting stuff set up, doing this, that, and the third. Oh snap! We got an extra person coming here. What's going on, Zoe?
What's good with you, blood?
Chilling, man, chilling. We got the whole panel out here going. So one quick second, I'm gonna keep on finishing my thought. We're gonna get everybody incorporated. Basically, I'm getting everything set up, and I'm seeing these extra few scenes in the beginning where he's, showing the picture, and he's snapping on all the kids, taking all their cell phones and throwing them. Y'all, I bet y'all see me now, huh? I'm like, what?
Dude, he done read some shit. I was like, bro, I did some shit in 2 seconds, bro.
I was like, because I started thinking, because I kind of remember from the other season where she mentioned her brother, and I was like, I think at least this has to be, some type of related. Like when as soon as I said related, I was like, that might be her brother. And I was just like, oh, he gonna be in there, he gonna mess up stuff, and he definitely did this season. Jesus Christ!
And you know what else? I literally just saw this yesterday. It blew my mind what difference a beard makes and a different hair. That is the same dude from the overly hated Marvel show, Iron Fist. He's the rich villain. That's the dude.
I only watched one. Man, I turned that joint off 5 minutes ago. That first fight scene, I was like, nah, dude. Daredevil fights better than the Iron Fist. I can't have it.
If you say Kung Lung one more time, bro, one more time. I swear.
Because that was my shit. I didn't know anything about Iron Fist except everybody's like, yo, bruh, he's like the best fighter in fucking Marvel. I can't wait for this shit. If Daredevil look like this, what the Iron Fist gonna look like?
To be able to have all the hands, and like it's one of the things where like you got the boy from Game of Thrones doing. As soon as they did, I was like, Laura Snap.
He literally had one hand. He get his ass whooped until he could glow his fist back up for that one time.
So all right, so back to Ozark. The first official question I guess I had to the panel was, what was your? I mean, I just kind of said my initial thing was like I noticed that out of the cartel, it got a lot more vicious. Where I'm like, oh man, it's starting to be more involved. What was your initial thoughts of season 3? Just Ozark, your feelings?
I hated it.
You hated it?
What?
Who did this?
I got a good panel today. All right, cool. I got it.
Personally, what I like about the show is the subtlety. I like that things build up slow. I like that there was a subtle tension over them at all times. I like that it let Marty, and I'm horrible with names, and his wife be smooth and smart and cool at all times. And season 3 just threw all that shit out the window. And it's like niggas is getting gunned down. Everything is overt. Everybody's just immediately dumb. Like first season and second season, Marty and Wendy would have immediately sent the brother away. Because as soon as that nigga stepped on the scene, I'm like, motherfucker's bipolar. He's going to know your shit and he's going to talk.
See, this is why I like to have these discussions, because here's the thing about it. I felt though where it's like, I get what you mean. I love exactly what you're talking about. Everything's cool, simmering on the surf, like just right below Marty being able to like. They're threatening this and that and the third with the cartel, and he's like, yeah, okay, I get it. He's still laundering money, still doing this thing. There's no pot. It's kind of like a powder keg, just not about to burst yet though. It's starting to burst. Like I feel it's the progression. It's the progression of everything that's happening. And when we said before you got here, I was like, and Wendy's starting to smell herself. But this particular season, when it first started, I was like, oh dog, like there's certain things Marty was controlling, and now Wendy started doing certain things in the first episode. I was like, oh Jesus Christ, because they're not in sync like that. They're not doing she committed her rights and her actual desires. She know what she want. Marty's always had a hard time with what he want. Like I love that scene where he gets captured and he has to do it, because at first it felt a bit much, like you're saying, but then I started realizing, I'm like, Marty, we really don't know what Marty wants. This man got cheated on the first episode. This man, there's a lot of things where like we all were looking at like, dang, dog, you kind of chill. about everything that's happening.
Like
Right.
way too calm. 3 years now. Come on, bro.
It was refreshing to see him crack a little, like when they was torturing him and shit. It was good to see that. It's like, oh, he's human. He blew his cool, and to see how he acted when he came back home, how he like the arcade game, and like how he was just doing random shit. How he decided to stay at that at the ladies' estate when they invited him. Like, it was cool to see shit like that. He wasn't himself, but it's like in a weird way. He cracked when he was being tortured, but when he got back, he was still, he wasn't himself, but he wasn't overreacting either. It was weird. You know what I mean? It's like he had a different appreciation for life after that shit happened. He was like more open to doing things that he probably wouldn't have done prior to him being tortured.
With that said, I will say, because of Jason Bateman's performance of him. Now let's just go ahead. Let me gush about that real quick. He's one of my favorite actors for the last couple of years, man. Because that nigga's he's always kind of funny, even no matter how gangster this shit has been, how the gangster situation is. I'm like, he's still hilarious in this whole. They're ripping his toenails off in like season 1 or something like that, and I'm over here like he's still funny as shit in this. Like, I don't even know how.
And the thing is, like, he's funny within his world. Like, it never feels out of place, no matter what the fuck it is that he's doing. It's not like, why the fuck are you joking now when the world is in? It is like literally like it makes sense for his character.
Right.
Well, he writes and directs a lot of it, so
Well, Garrett, I'll make you a little more giddy now. You are now technically 1 degree away from Jason now. Because I worked on it, The Outsider, did some standing work, and he was my director the day I came on. So he directed me in the scene. So
you worked on The Outside? Wait, because I just heard about that. Is that HBO?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Oh man, just heard of that show.
Yeah, he's my director on there. He started 2 episodes and he directed some. But nicest guy. He's just like all his characters, calm, cool, collected. That's who he is. So. You now got a plug now, loosely.
Man, all right, we got the Ozark plug. Don't even get. Like, we about to get on it, man. So seriously, I do appreciate what you mean by that, saying where the tone is shifted. But I'm like, man, it's shifted because shit is all shifting now. It's
everything was too sudden for me, man. None of it built up to it, and it felt out of place, and it just beat me over the head, and I had to accept this is the new normal. Like I did like Wendy's character change, but I felt like it came on too suddenly. They could have been building that up.
No, they were building it up for 2 seasons. This is not her arc.
They were kind of building it up, but then she like full Scarface now. Like that. Immediately she woke up in bed one day like, let's kill niggas and let's not take shit anymore.
So all right, before everybody got on here and I was saying stuff, I was basically calling one of my things I say about Ozark is that I call it fast forwarded Breaking Bad. I call it like one of those things where you look at it and if you watch Breaking Bad from beforehand, you know exactly some of the elements took a little bit of time to get to. So it took a minute to Skylar to be like, I fucked Ted and this and that third. First episode, Wendy is out here doing some wild ass shit with somebody else. So it's a thing where I'm like, I do see what you mean, but she did certain things where I'm like, nah, man, she's missing her family. Like the first episode of this one, she's over here going back home to Chicago and is over here like, oh yeah. I'm in the old home. She's turning up and drinking the beers and this and that third, and like this is my house kind of thing, or like kind of hating on the people that lived in our old place.
And even for all of their characters, I just do not see a planet where they let the brother stay. I do not at all. That of course I don't give a fuck.
But that's her smelling herself. That was her smelling herself. I felt that's the little bit where they made it was the writers pushing and pulling a little bit, but at that point in time, they made Wendy to that point where she could feel comfortable and like, you know what. Stay,
whatever. You my favorite person. Stay here.
I know you're crazy. I know you're bipolar. Take your meds, man. Keep fine chick.
And that's my problem. Even if she's like, I love you, and you on your drugs and shit, and blah blah blah. Stay with me. You're my brother. As soon as that motherfucker was like, I'm not taking my drugs anymore, she still would have been like, you got to go.
No, but that only speaks to her whole character arc of her hubris, thinking that she can control everything and everyone, because now she's high and mighty, and now she's like, I got him. I can handle. If I can handle Cartel, I can handle my brother.
Well, that's and that makes sense to me. Because Cuz was blowing up her line, and she felt like, this nigga listen to me now. We friends. And shit. I'm reading this nigga's omens and shit.
I don't think it was necessarily that. I feel like her brother was a representation of like a little piece of normalcy. You know, like when she went back home, she was hating on, like y'all said, she was hating on the people that live there. So then it's like when she came back to Ozark and her brother was there, it's like, yeah, I can keep this nigga around, because if you pay attention to their interactions, like that showed us a side of Wendy that we haven't necessarily seen before throughout the whole series, for real.
Yeah.
Like she was like really comfortable around him, and I feel like she just wanted him around so she could still have that piece of her old life.
Exactly. Here's my take of that though, bro. I feel because her brother was so volatile and stuff like that, where it was just like, you know, there's a certain piece of Wendy that Marty don't know about it, but like Ben knew, because it was one of the things that I grew up. I know my sister, this and that, third. You know, like the way he was talking in certain scenes, I can't remember the exact quote, but it was essentially where it was like,
I remember.
It essentially has a dark side kind of thing, where like, you know, she actually has that little edge type to her, and you see her even dealing with Navarro, talking to him at night. You know, she's trying to indulge and stuff like that. This is a cartel deal. I still love that point where Marty was like, you know, the nurse with the teeth, he killed her when like, it was like, you know that she's dead, right? He didn't fire her. But yeah, so certain things she's playing with elements that she has no idea to, because at the same time, the reason why I'm going harder with is because she hasn't had the threat that Marty has knowingly had over his head. She ain't getting her toenails pulled off. Yeah, they threw her lover off a building, you know, because she was messing around first seasons.
And it was
she
almost
never put in the skin of the game that Marty.
That was 10 minutes into her lover off the building.
We gotta go do stuff. Would you say, B?
That was 10 minutes into the series. They threw her love off the building. She's like, all right, whatever.
I mean, she said she was sad about it, you know.
She made it seem like the dick was weak as well. She was like, I had an affair, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, dude,
like that. Like he was like, hot affair. She was like,
that's the payoff. That's the payoff, buddy. That's what you get, buddy. You know how tall Chicago buildings are. He gonna know. Nah, not that Laura Linney, dog. Fine lady, but not thrown off a building plan.
But now that you brought that up, that was another thing that I didn't like. Of another thing that seemed shoehorned into me was basically the cartel dude kind of instantly falling in love with her in not so many words, in like a minute and a half conversation. Like Wendy cool, and she did do a lot of political shit, but they keep hyping up how valuable Marty is and how he's done things that no one else can do. And he's been doing it for you for 10 years. And you never called this nigga, never spoke to him directly. But his wife whispers in someone's ear once that she has an idea. And he's like, meet me in person. And after that in-person meeting, starts calling her in the middle of the night, talking about his dreams and shit in a way that he would not.
No, I get you. I totally get you.
When shit is most dangerous.
Nico,
but I will say the difference between Marty and Wendy was, I think they liked Wendy, or like pulled her in closer, because Wendy had a plan prior to speaking with him. It's like she had a thought out plan, and then when they actually met, it's like, okay, cool. Whereas Marty just made promises under pressure, and he just so happened to be able to deliver after the fact. He didn't know how he was going to do it. He just said shit like, I'm going to flip an FBI agent. And they'd be like, oh, shit, okay, go ahead, cool.
I think that makes him dope, because honestly, the whole thing we're talking about Ozark is like he was on his knees about to get shot in the head, talking about, come on, this stuff right here.
Yeah. I also, as a viewer, I also fuck with Marty for that, because I just be like, damn, how the fuck he gonna make that happen? And he do the shit, but if I was a cartel boss, I would hate that shit, and I would definitely love Wendy. It's like, okay, she got a fucking plan.
I do agree with you, though. He did like that. Wendy was like about that life. Marty was never with it. Marty was like, don't kill my family, don't kill my wife, don't kill me. So what can I do to stop you from doing that? When Wendy was like, how we gonna get further? Because like, nigga, I'm trying to be in with the cartel. I ain't trying to be nigga. I'm talking about
that same type of. So one thing I thought was cool about Ben is like certain things that he said was like when he was hanging out, he's like, "So you just got a baby, huh?" Like, no, oh, it's not your baby. So some weird little thing you got going on here. You got a casino, sis. He was living in his old guy's house, and it's just like certain things he knows. There's other things going on. He just can't say it. Put upon. He don't want to blow up her spot. But it's just a thing where I'm like, he knows her dark edge to it. Like this whole season has been about Wendy's dark edge and its effect because everybody cussed her out. Ruth cussed her out. Her son cussed her out. Everybody was like, Marty, of course, cussed her out. It was one of these, and he's done devious stuff himself, but he's done. I feel because I feel it was messed up with the whole therapist where he has to pay off the therapist and he did the whole thing.
When Marty came for blood for her in that therapy session, bro, I was like, oh shit, yep. Like, dude, they was not playing. Like when it hit that boiling point in the therapy, I was like, which can also probably be just like a representation of the whole 3 seasons so far. It's that slow burning boiling point of we can pay our way and scheme our way through until it gets real, and then we just gotta pop because that's just what that is. But
yeah, too many motherfuckers dying and disappearing in this tiny ass town. They murder rate then like triple, and there's no cause for concern. Motherfuckers just disappearing left and right.
Talk about that old preacher from last season, like how he just like dead and gone. Like no one's gonna be like that preacher.
It's every day, B. It's every day, B.
It's kind of hard.
Every day, B.
It's kind of hard to like conduct proper investigations when fucking police stations, the sheriff, how many men did he say he had? He had like 15. Yeah, it's like that ain't like the sheriff, like the main person that you consulting when there's crime is on the fucking payroll of the crazy old chick with the fucking opium wrench.
Yeah, but someone would have sent someone. Like the state police would have been there, the FBI would have been there, someone would have been like, niggas are disappearing, and they already suspect the cartel is there. So
well, I mean, I guess that's where
in your mind should be cartel, but you got the same nigga rolling around.
Right. I guess that's where the feds would come in. Then I guess that was the checks and balances. It's like, yo, it's some bullshit going on over here. Because when what was the gay federal agent's name?
Oh yeah, the dude,
the one that died. When he died, shit went left. Like the feds, like they brought everybody in. Like, all right, fuck it, go ahead, go get him.
Yep. Back to Ben real quick. I mean, honestly, he noticed these sides of her. He just didn't know how far Wendy would take it. He wouldn't think cartel stuff, and that's why I feel when he went off the rails, slowly but surely. You know, I was like, because as soon as I was like, man, he got too much morality. Just that first scene you saw him with the kids, I'm like, he ain't gonna be able to handle this stomach this joint. He had that party going crazy.
Like, when he pulled up to old girl's house with like, I'm gonna tell your daughter about you. I'm like, oh no, bro.
So
you gotta read her to filth, bro. Like dead.
I went right into that because I was about to say he went across on Helen, and like Helen to me, you know, she's been one of my favorite characters since she got introduced last season. Where I'm over here like, you know, I'm gonna see what happened to Dell. You know, dude that got shot in the face last time. I'm handling this stuff, but you start realizing her family was already affected by Navarro. Already lost a kid to Navarro. Already had the whole thing over her head about Navarro. They even started waterboarding her in the first episode of this season was to make sure she was good and her husband won't say shit. And it was like, dang. So I feel with the ending of this season, it's kind of a cautionary tale for our protagonist here about like, we still got you in the pocket and we have no qualms with still.
Because no one's safe. No one's safe.
It's just like, ew.
But yeah, what you said about the brother did know though, because not at no point was he like, this evil stuff Marty is doing. In his mind, bad shit started happening. The first thought was his sister. He was like, what did you do? Because I know you. So I want to know what the fuck she was doing in childhood, but you know, he probably dead as fuck, so we'll never hear that.
Yeah. Well, Marty, he knows. Yeah, he's like, Marty Byrd. You know, that guy.
Basically, he was like, that nerd is with you doing this stuff.
But no, he acknowledged that his sister had a dark side, but when like people would mention Marty to him, he felt like that Marty was the reason that Wendy was soft all of a sudden, like she had lost her edge or something because she was married to Marty. So in the sense of like, that's why he, I guess, attacked Wendy in the sense of like, what did you get yourself into? Because he probably didn't think Marty was capable of some shit like that.
Yeah,
honestly, yeah, like he really did. He was like, when he was talking, he was like, "This is the first time I recognized her in years, man."
Right?
Why don't you being a mob boss?
Yeah, it's
Like
one of those things
she
where
knocking niggas off and shit, and this is the first time. Oh, there's my sister. This is girl I know.
well, yeah, she was like, I had an affair. He was over here like, oh, okay.
Okay, how was the affair?
But also, he loves that danger because it's now plaything. Old girl, Curly Sue over here out here kicking Tommy's butt, throw him off the boat. I'm like, okay, she out here. Don't play with her either, with the little girl in the
Roof is
I was about to get in the roof. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead, Nico. You said Roof.
I fuck with Roof. It's like she's like a miniature Helen to me.
Yeah,
it's like she's young, but she's like ever since even when she killed her uncle, lost her dad. It's like the damn, what's their last name? Langmores. The Langmores have like as a clan have all gone through some shit. So it's like for her to be so young. And she's the only woman in the Langmore clan, even when her uncle and dad was still alive. And it's like she held down the fort. So it's like what's the little boy's name? 3, I believe.
Yeah. 3.
Yeah, like 3 is like she was a mom to him. Like she, like even though she's young, it's like she takes the role of the matriarch in the Langmore family. And I don't even think I don't know their ages, but I don't even think she's 20 in the show.
Yeah, she's supposed to be like early 20s.
She's like early 20s, like
early 20s,
like that.
23, something like that.
But yeah, she killed the nigga daddy and raised that nigga.
So my thing about it, bro, is Roof did dirty this season. I feel she did so dirty this season in terms of just how everybody treated her. Like I feel the Byrds did her dirty, but didn't back her up after Tommy. Whatever Tommy is now in this show, Ozark Tommy is what I'm going to call him. Yeah. Ozark Tommy from Power beat her ass, and he should have he deserved what he got with that shotgun, but he just went ham on her ass, and I was over here like, damn, dude, like, damn. And so you got that, they didn't back her up there. You got lying about the untouchable stuff. So essentially, she don't got no type of backing at all. All the stuff she's been doing this whole time has gone unappreciated.
I don't know. I do agree with them. It is something to have cut off the KC mob. Like that was a big stream of revenue. That's not nothing. You can't go murdering everybody when the feds are literally watching me count money every day.
Like that
nigga come. Like,
that's the reason why. But dude, that's the reason why she was pushed to the poppy fields for old girl, because there still needs to be some kind of restitution. You beat mama like somebody like that I know, and it's not supposed to be. No, something's got to happen to Ozark Tommy from Power.
The biggest thing for her was that she's not their daughter. That's literally what she wanted. That's what she kept bringing up. Like, you did this when it was your kid, you killing niggas, but when it's me, you didn't. Yeah, because
I feel like them cutting off the KC mob was like the equivalent of like physically harming Ozark Tommy. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that was the most extreme thing that they could have done. They were in bed with them on multiple business plans that they had he had the agreement with him with the truck and just the drops and like all of that, and then for them to be like, we ain't fucking with him no more.
That's
and then
lot.
It's like, no, but y'all gotta yeah, that's a hell of a lot. And it's like, no, y'all gotta kill that nigga. Like y'all gotta hurt him. Like it's like, what? We basically did that without doing it. We aren't messing with them anymore. And you want us to do more? I feel like that was a little selfish of Ruth, although I agree. If I was in the bed and I got my ass whooped, I would want something physically done to him. But they didn't like totally like just sit on their hands. They did something. She just didn't like what they did.
My whole thing is talking about a matter of perspective. Ruth actually, like in terms of her whole every scene she got in, she's doing drops 2 hours, 3 hours out the way. They can't even like help her with the bag. There's all type of stuff. She's over here just like, all right, they're driving all the way over here, making her pick it up over there. I'm like, oh, y'all asses. Like, that's how the whole thing.
Then you want to try and slide. Then old dude with the drop want to try and slide on Helen's daughter. Like, hey, so I could be like your trash first time. Let's go. Like, no.
You say you want to make a terrible mistake? I could be that.
Yeah, he was super bad for real. We could be that mistake.
But speaking of terrible mistakes, though, can we be glossing over the fact that Darlene took the old dude, who's young boy, like, I see you lonely. Why don't you stay in my barn, young boy? Like, bruh.
Oh, hey, let's not lie. She bad for an old lady, bruh. She bad for an old lady.
Crazy. Don't do it.
He was a 17-year-old boy getting some pussy.
That thing, I was like, it made me feel dirty.
That was easily the most disturbing sex scene I've ever witnessed in my life.
I wasn't expecting it, and I just looked at the screen.
I was cool with the kiss. After that, they could have just cut to the next scene, and I would have known what that implied. But the fact that they went through the whole, I was like, it was cringeworthy. That part I could have dealt without.
They gonna give it to you, bro. They ain't gonna skip nothing. They're giving to you all of it. Like they won't. You know, let's see this grandma getting it.
So
even I learned that when the Langmore and the Fez, when they started kissing and all that shit, I'm like, oh, this is one of those shows.
Yeah.
So like here's the first episode with like he's on the phone, you're like, oh, or whatever, and cut to like, and you're like, whoa,
yeah. So Wyatt though, like he was messing up this whole season too. I mean, honestly, yeah, he's not gonna forgive Ruth for killing his dad, and this and that and the third. You know, he ain't getting. But it's one of the things I hate when characters are trying to make such a point, but they're not making good decisions on their own. It's oh yeah, I don't want to do this, and it's like all right, but you're gonna break into this house. He's living in a nice house for a little bit, but then you're gonna get tased by his mama. That was a funny scene.
He's a teenager though. Like teenagers already make bad decisions, and he just found out who actually killed his dad. And he had all this,
young lad. He can find something better to do than an old wallet, like an old beaten down.
I feel like he wants a fatherly, motherly figure, and she is that. And she's like all the parents. His dad was pretty chill, but all his uncles and shit are like her.
I am very disturbed that you dislike this season, but like this part.
It makes sense. The boy is looking for a father, and he found one.
No, that does make sense. And she's like a Langmore hybrid. If you put all of the Langmores together, she is that, but with the vagina.
She is literally just like all of his uncles and shit.
Because like I said,
she's violent, she's involved in drugs and all types of illegal shit. This is what he grew up with, this home.
I get that. She's a representative. He's got young Summer and all types of chicks that I looked at season 1, he was hanging out with Summer Tough.
Like that thing well seasoned, bruh.
Dog.
Well done.
That's like cooking
the plate well done, bro.
Don't act like black people don't like their meat cooked extra tough, bro. He getting it where he
fitting. That boy nasty. I don't like it.
Yo, low key, I've been getting my steak well done. I'm just saying.
But the sheer horror I had at the screen was enough. I'm like,
you're like,
No, I cannot agree, sir.
I knew I wasn't tripping. I knew I wasn't tripping because when they went to the poppy field and one of the workers saw her touching him and he kind of was looking like, whoa, what the fuck? It's like okay, it's not just me. I'm not the only one weirded out by this. Cool.
But the little cousin, he was like, I think they're fucking. Like it was a pinky. He was like,
no, that was funny as shit because he was like, yeah, you can stay in the cabin. Oh, you gonna be in the cabin with me? No, it's enough room.
It's a big house. Not big enough.
I wonder why. Like,
I'm out here, grandma, out here in the streets. So you wanna? I mean. Like, you can watch or not. You just be in your cabin. I'm like, I'm over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not my baby, but like, I mean, she can't have one. So like, I'm over here. So
I mean, I guess that's how you felt. I guess that's how you felt about it, because like, man, he was all up in it. He's like, look, got a place to stay, got an old joint,
right.
just
living the high life.
And when you think about it, she bonded him out. Like, she's a down mother. Like, she down for the cause type shit.
Oh yeah.
She got him out the clink. No questions asked. They hadn't even met at that point.
Paying all his lawyer fees, all that. But while we on the subject of them, that was probably one of the deaths that I took the hardest. Was the death of her husband. He was one of my favorite characters. I think he was.
Dude, that was gold. The way they set that up, just like
as soon as I
saw
the cup, I knew it. Yeah, but like he was organized chaos, and she's just chaos. I don't really care for her character without the.
That's what I think.
Like she's interesting off of his rationality. She's not interesting by herself.
Her name Darlene, right? Darlene.
Yeah, Darlene. Yeah. But that's what I think.
Darlene is down back this season. I feel like this was. I feel last season. Of course, she was this crazy killer because she was with old boy like that. They could balance each other. Now they kind of like hit her back a little bit so she could have social conversations with people, and she did certain things that are wild. And one of my favorite scenes from her this season was when Ruth yelled after her, like, "You really are a crazy fucking bitch or cunt," or something like that, and she just looked up at the camera a little bit, that crazy ass look. I'm like, that was good character acting from that lady. I was like, she seemed like she would do some things.
Yeah, well, that's what I think my like prediction or whatever for next season, or whenever they end the series, I feel like they'll bring it home, and the cartel will go where they're destroyed, but they'll end it with the face-off between the Byrds and Darlene. She's the hometown rival from the beginning. They'll bring it home to war against them too.
I hope not. I just think she's it'll
be interesting. Like Cartel's like obvious, but if they keep it the home stretch, bro. She's been having that out for them forever.
That makes sense though.
The season so for that for the city folk versus the locals,
the country folk.
The country folk. Yeah.
Keep it local.
I it makes sense. It just wouldn't be interesting to me because she's not interesting. Like she doesn't.
What?
She's not smart to me. She don't make boss moves. She just goes off of her feelings at all times. Everyone else has some rationality going on with them. She does not.
That's the thing. She don't need to have rationale. That's what she's so bad. For me, that's why I find her so interesting because she's insane. She's crazy. Everyone else has rationale. At least has to be one person, her, plus none. And she hasn't paid no consequence.
She got rationale. Because here's the thing about it. After she blew off Ozark Tommy's dick, she walked up to his daddy and had a whole business conversation. That's what I'm saying. They made her a little bit more, they dialed back the crazy just a bit to make her be able to do certain deals here and there. That part, as well as the Poppy feel in general, where she flipped Ruth over to her and is like, y'all gonna be my next people, my next workers, because they're gonna make that whole Poppy. Because she need young people around. Like that's another thing about it. Like I think this season she's trying to recharge and get stuff going. So like, we'll see next season. She's probably gonna be a big factor in next season.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's
alive for a reason. She alive for a reason.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
She's not getting
you could eliminate Tommy, whatever. You could kick his ass off the boat, literally. You could take away the crazy priest. You can eliminate the cartel, but who's left? Local against local, and at the end, and it's like, I'll take it. I'm down for it.
Yeah. So the cartel part, I didn't know if we talked about more into just Marty and getting captured and kidnapped and like that whole little bit of it. He was just getting wanted to see how they ran without him, to see if he was redundant, and there's all these types of things where he's like, he's testing them. I feel Marty never had that before. He never got tested to that length before. Like you said, he came back changed. What do you feel he's gonna do now? Because after this whole thing with Helen, what's his next move? What's his mind state? What do you think is just up for Marty Byrd?
I think he's going to find a way to destroy the cartel.
Of course,
that's what I think. Like he's over that shit. He's tired of living under this. It was
he
cool
has to, because that's the only way it's gonna stop.
Yeah,
they getting erratic. Like it was cool for the 10 years. Probably when you calling me on the phone, like maybe sure I'm there, maybe a little light threatening here and there, just to make sure I'm in line. But now y'all killing each other around me and shit. You in my ass every goddamn day. Nah, I can't. You can't live like this long term.
You invited me out here for a christening, and the first thing you do is smoke a motherfucker as soon as I get out of the damn car. Like, are you kidding me, bro?
And then your wife like, we should get close to them. You're like,
this is the rollout. Like, this is the welcoming wagon that you kill a motherfucker in my face.
Like, yeah, it makes sense, Cartel. Keep him on point. But like, remember, I can bop you at any second. I wish you would sign me. Keep me on a leash. How tight is that leash? This tight. So I say keep it close, bro.
Yeah, I think somehow I think they're going to do something that's like unforgivable, that can't be rationalized, which maybe I'd guess hurt one of the children in some way or kill one of the children. Something that he can't come back from, something that is no longer going to survive.
Unless, because you've seen the foreshadow, little Jonah be popping off, unless he turns into a little villain himself and comes at Marty or the mom. Because I
was about to get into the kids real quick. Jonah had the illest season. Like, they didn't do nothing with the girl, I feel like.
The girl
just with the Yappa to Helen, like, all right, you better tell me something about my uncle. Like, I was like, oh, okay, Jonah.
That's not little Jonah.
Let's go, little man. Like, it's like,
not Jonah. I like the kid, not Jonah, though.
He know the whole business now. If anything, the cartel could kill everybody and come to him and be like, run this.
But I was just literally telling somebody, like, I can only imagine the amount of trauma that not necessarily the kids, but just specifically Jonah has gone through, like, throughout the whole Ozark show. Like, how they came to Ozark, why they came to Ozark, the fact that he had trouble making friends. Then you make friends with the old guy that lives there, then he dies. Then you turn around and make friends with your uncle. You getting close with him like you were with Buddy. Wasn't that the old guy's name, Buddy?
Yeah, Buddy. Yeah. And then Ben dies.
Oh, your friend Ben dies. So that's why that was like his breaking point. That's why he went to Helen like, bitch, what happened to my fucking uncle? So with all that being said, he doesn't know what to believe. And they already I feel like that he's going to have some type of problems like Ben, because they foreshadowed that when they said that his mom was like Ben, or because I believe Jonah had questioned him about a statement that she had made earlier, like, is that what mom meant when she said that I was like Uncle Ben or some shit like that? I feel like that's true.
I don't know.
Yeah, like he's bipolar.
But they were also showing he's like Marty, and Marty isn't bipolar. But he's definitely on someone's spectrum somewhere of something.
Both of them.
No, he's calculated. Marty's calculated. That's all he is.
Yeah, he's both of them though. He's the child of them. So it's one of the things where he could be very well so the progeny and be both of that.
Exactly. That kid can be both calculated and also a little bipolar. So
possibly.
A little bit.
Possibly. But remember, he still has a moment. He got his first kiss, so there's hope. But not really.
None even a nigga out like getting his dick wet.
His first kiss was the daughter of the lady that the cartel just killed. So he not getting no pussy. His girlfriend, his little boo, is gone. She back in Chicago, and he's probably not going to see her again.
My buddy gone, my uncle gone, my girl mama gone, everybody gone. Oh no, I'm done.
Yeah, Jonah, if he doesn't have any anything in his DNA that makes him bipolar, all of those instances is enough to make him break.
That shit is on right now. That bitch coming on early.
Yeah.
The onset is real.
Well, I feel like
usually I feel like 25, but that's coming on early.
Yeah, Donna didn't have much to do this season though. Like I was like, she was kind of there. She was kind of there this season.
Well, no, the most thing that they had the daughter in the first two, in between like the fate, like almost dying, suicide in the lake, and then like that's basically about it. That's like her height, and that's it.
I don't know. In the second season, she was like a constant tension that if you take yourself outside of the entertainment of the show, who was completely right. Like you realize we are criminals and drug dealers, and they can come and kill us at any time, and we're children, and we shouldn't have to live like this. And I'm emancipating myself.
Well, her whole world, she was a conscience. She's the audience of the other side of like. You realize this? Do you see what we're doing is messed up? You know this, right? Like we're gonna get caught. She's the audience. She serves that purpose, and it's great.
But then they come back in the third season, and that's resolved somehow.
Well, no, she just kind of like accepted. She's like, all right, well, if we dig this hole, I'm gonna dig. I might as well keep on digging because I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. So,
yeah, I figured that. Yeah, Ben, like for this thing, I think Ben took over a little bit of that conscious role here because
exactly.
what are you doing? Cartel, like man, look,
it's not normal, don't you?
It's not normal, baby. It ain't normal, baby. And my thing about it, they got this hitman dude just chilling. He be driving them everywhere. It's like, so I killed
the brother. You can't just not niggas on driving the same luxury fucking SUV everywhere you go, pulling up like, oh, that's him. Guess somebody died today.
Frank, out here gotten the 10 episodes. Like, you're gonna drive for the first 8, and we're gonna have you talk in the last 2, 3 lines. That's all you're gonna get. That's all you're gonna get.
I liked it, this little thing where they kind of faked you out that maybe he has some underlying issues that he was going to talk to the therapist about. But then when they pushing her off the cliff on the mountain, she's like, you get tired of this? And he's like, no, not really. I like when somebody stays solid. I don't like this. You got to make everybody have a conscience secretly that they got to get over. Like,
but I will push back a little on that and say maybe that those are his real, actual, issues, whatever. But he still don't care. He's like, these are real to me. Yeah. But I'm still cute though, because I know you got back.
But it was such a small issue. Like he's talking about dogs and he kills people for a living. So that's minor inconvenience.
Yeah, but I think he really meant that shit, and he divulged that information simply because he knew he was gonna kill her. It's like I can be honest with her because I'm finna smoke her. So it's like this is how I feel. This is what's on my mind, and he doesn't speak. So it makes sense for him. He's like, this is actually my opportunity to where I get to speak my mind. Why not? Shit, she's a fucking therapist.
Remember it? Yeah, she did.
Yeah, fuck it. I miss my dog. Shit.
Real there.
But they came with the comic relief with the therapist. Came out here stunting with a Rari for no reason, doing the most.
Doing the Ferrari, bro.
That was really good.
McLaren. She came through in the P1. I think it was like a P1. I'm like, bruh.
What else do you have? This is my last chance. Like if she has 1 foot and 4 toes in the grave. If somebody gives someone like that $100 grand with no family, what else you gonna do? Buy some luxury shit.
Let's get it. Come on now. You know how to work it, but I don't care, bro. I love it. It's like she came and driving out the lot.
And they're like, what is that? She's like, a car.
No. She should have took care. Her and Ben were both careless people about their lives in this season because I would have drove that P1 out.
That's a fact because it's like she's an old lady and you live in Ozark. What the fuck are you even going in this car? Like, where are you showing this car off? And you just bought it to have it.
How did she get it like overnight though? Ain't no fucking at Ozark.
You can order a McLaren. They'll take that. If you spend that much, they're gonna deliver whatever you want to. Whatever you're gonna get to, you're gonna deliver that junk. So that's why she put that money in. She put that Marty money in. That cartel money.
She let me live in the Ozark, bro. She hood rich, bro. They hood rich. That's all it is.
They knew it's spent right. That's why like we don't get it to Ozark. Yeah, we got you, baby.
I don't know. In a way,
7-year-old lady needs a yellow McLaren.
I feel like she was old and at peace though. She didn't really care. She lived a long life. She was doing her thing. She wasn't like devastated when he pulled the gun out. She was just like kind of, oh, well, that's surprising. But she kind of
knew that it would come to that when she realized that Marty and Wendy were involved in.
Yeah.
She knew it would kind of come to that because
go ahead.
When she spoke on the war with the cartel, that's when she pulled up. Is like, is that you guys? Are we affected by that? Like, like she was questioning about it, so she kind of knew it would come to that.
So yeah, in a way, maybe you can try and force something deeper in there and say like, from the moment she heard it, she knew she was dead. So nigga might as well go out and buy my fucking dream car.
And she looked when they were having that argument and they panned the camera panned over to her. She was more shocked about that conversation than she was shocked when the hitman pulled out the gun.
Yeah. That's old. Let's talk about the therapy session when they did go off. Man, that was a good thing. Man, that was a good thing.
That was crazy.
as a psychology major, kids, therapy works.
Everything that's been building up to that point, they finally got off, and like, you know, performance wise, you know, I love it in the trailer. Even Lori Liddy was like, "Oh, that's just a tired." And I'm like, "Oh, she's mad as hell."
Get him, right? Like, come on.
All her breath on that joint. That is just such a tired. You smarty.
I was, yo, go off, Laura, go off.
They went all back and forth. Honestly, it was kind of a bang up season for me in that sense. I do understand what you mean, though, in terms of it was ratcheting up, but I felt it needs to ratchet up at this point because
it needed to ratchet up, but it went too fast. Stretch it out. Stretch it out, bro. Let me give me some before I had dessert. Can't just be dessert for 10 hours.
No, I think that's the whole tone of the series. It's always a slow tension build, always a look around the corner. Like, it's always that. And this part, they're just like, they're showing a little bit more of the consequences ticking up a little bit, like of, you know, we can only withhold this tension for so long because it's popping in little corners right now.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
So far.
If this was the last season, I could get with it, but there's still more show to go.
No, there's more.
Don't blow up the formula if this ain't.
They're still getting by the skin of their teeth, though. Like, there's still a lot of things where they're getting by the skin of their teeth, and I feel like more consequences are going to actually start happening. Because, like, even when the people got shot, you saw the drone shot of when Ruth and the whole drug deal was going down. Yeah. That was a dope shot, first off. Secondly, it was like, yeah, she just so happened to be out the way. It was all these little things where they are separated around from it. Even the son got his hair cut last season where it's like, yeah, messages. Now it's starting to become, you know, a little bit closer. Now people going to start getting touched. I'm excited about that. It's going to be crazy. Whew.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, when this whole, you know, isolation ends, then, yeah, when things kick back into gear, I mean, who knows when it's going to end, but, like, yeah, when they come through, because, again, they shoot up here, obviously, and I've yet to be on that set. But you know what's annoying, though? In the second season, bro, when they be in the strip club, you know how annoying it is to see people you know in that strip club and be like, bro, I'd text them and be like, yo, I cannot get up in the scene because you in the strip club, and it bothers me so much.
You sitting there slapping ass. I should be in there slapping ass.
I can't say. I never worked on it. You know?
I should be lap dance getter number 3, nigga.
This man he's talking about he's over here. You're Marcus and Bad Boys for Life now, man. Get out of here talking that you're over drinking wine. I'm Marcus I just watched you the other day talking about this and that, shooting out in a telenovela mansion. I'm like, this man is Mark Malone.
This man lived his real dream of being in a dirty backwater strip club on camera.
Yeah,
little his dreams.
You don't want that to be on set all day, ass in your face, smell like booty and Hennessy, 17 hours on set.
Your mama, don't watch the show. Don't watch me. You don't see me in this. It's not me. That's not me. That strip club.
Exactly. He's from slapping ass for 10 hours straight for the scene.
My hands.
It's a long day.
They're like, nah, nigga, continuity. You've been slapping with the right hand the whole time.
Yo, someone's got to do this work out here. It's a long day of work now. Someone got to do it. You know.
What's wrong with you guys slapping ass, bro?
You got to brace on at work the next day. What happened to you? Work injury.
Right.
Life's very hard for you. I'm very sure.
It's a long day, man. Someone got to, bro. When I tell you, man, them shootouts, bro, and Bad Boys, bro. We be up here. We're in Norcross. We're in downtown. In winter last year, bro, cold as hell and 30 degrees in a winter coat, just dying, bro. 3 a.m. in the morning, bro.
Yeah,
but we did it for you.
You were like holding the gun and stuff like that.
The machine gun.
Brian got the yap.
Yeah. We did it for y'all. Man.
Oh yeah, I saw the part. Yeah, they had you under the truck. They had you under the truck.
What? Under the truck. Bro, that was under the truck at like 4 a.m., bro, in downtown. It was like 25 degrees, bro. I'm like, we really out here? We out here under the? You put me under the truck? Why can't like this under the truck, bro?
Yeah, you looked really uncomfortable.
But I mean, it's a work thing, bro. We out here. Yeah. Someone's got to do it. So I did it for y'all. But
anyway, to not deviate fully off, it was like 3-4 minutes without this. Did y'all have anything else y'all want to bring up about Ozark of this season, or just how y'all felt about it? What y'all feel up? Anything else? Just y'all, I'm gonna give y'all the last bit to go. Like boom. Just how you all feel about going further, or if you just feel like it's just I just said what I had to say. Fuck, you say that.
Well, I did see some like one of those reviews for things on YouTube, whatever, talking about like maybe the stuff the next season, and I like the theory they're floating with Tommy, whatever Skora, maybe loosely joining the Marty clan, Marty Byrd and them against Darlene. Just because you shoot my nut off, like they're like, we'll use Tom, we'll join forces. We don't like you, but we'll join forces, kind of thing, to go against Darlene and them. Because why? Because again, he tried to beat up Ruth. Darlene shot him off. He has no other choices but to go to the other side, quote unquote.
Man, what's dickless Ozark Tommy gonna do, bro?
I mean, I feel like Tommy got enough juice and face recognition to where he didn't join this to just be a one-hitter quitter. So yeah, he probably gonna have something to do next season too.
True.
Yep.
Yeah, he definitely got to get his leg back.
I don't know what he gonna do to get. Everybody gotta die. Everybody gotta die.
Everybody, bro. Come on.
Nah. Everybody gone.
Yeah,
but then you haven't really seen the KC mob flex their muscle, and I feel like that's on the horizon.
Yeah, they're not just gonna take that shit sitting down. You don't work with us anymore.
They got fired. They severed ties with them. It's like, no, with KC mob. Then you get your dick shot off. It's like, no, they can't. No, they have to retaliate because now they look pussy. So, and I'm pretty sure if everybody, they keep throwing around KC mob, I'm pretty sure there are some consequences to all of that, and we're going to learn about those next season. Got to.
Has to.
Well, it makes sense if you think about by seasons, like the main villain. You got season 2 was Darlene and the husband. This time it was more cartel based, and then the next season will probably be more so KC mob focusing because we didn't, again, like you said, we didn't see much. We don't know too much of what they can do this season, so that makes sense.
Yeah. I was gonna bring up what we didn't bring up is the FBI agent, like the FBI in general. I think a way bigger factor in because that call, Marty, where you going? Yeah, that's really good advice. Don't get on that plane. That's really good advice. All right. Like, oh no. So yeah, definitely it's gonna be more cartel and more FBI, and that's gonna be like, I don't know, man. That's gonna be dicey. It's gonna be super dicey, depending on how this cartel goes.
Cartel, FBI, Snells, KC mob.
Yep. All three, and how many of them gotta fall in this next season? Does he eliminate the cartel?
One thing I really like about the cartel thing is this season, even Navarro got hit. Even his family, like I told you, like his
true.
I'm like, dude, this is actual real life because you always see the overpowering hand in every movie or show where it's like, oh, the cartel,
right.
Whatever it is, nothing bad never happened to them. Yeah. That ain't real life. Chapo had some messed up stuff happen. There's other people, Escobar had stuff happen to him. There's all types of stuff that happened to them in terms of retaliation, lost people. So seeing that within the whole thing was really cool. Yeah. It's basically. I mean, it wasn't cool that it happened. It was, Christian and stuff like that, but it was cool to see that shit. Honestly, though, I just think it's just gonna go off the rails even further. So I'm sorry, bro. I think subtlety is out the window by this point.
That's fine for last season, but it just went from 0 to 100 too quick.
Man, I want to see a random off the wall theory or whatever for the next season. Would it be interesting? I don't know how y'all feel. I don't know how it's going to happen if it were to happen. But how do you feel about Jonah getting extra crazy and he's the one with that shotgun who shoots Tommy?
I mean, Tommy ain't that. He ain't got no beef with Tommy.
That's true, but whatever reason. Just saying though, random thought.
Yeah, he might
joins
snap.
their side. He joins the Byrd side, but then they keep him at arm's length, and he whatever tries to backstab him. He's like,
nah. He needs some type of beef with you. Jonah's the type of kid that he needed some type of actual like. He had a beef with Helen. He had a beef with.
Of course. But I'm saying if he joins their side and decides to cross them, now he's like, all right, now I gotta take you out. So
they've been telegraphing it by them pointing the gun at the cartel dude the first season to now even where it's like Jonah's gonna have to take someone else soon.
He has to.
When he shot the window out, what did he shoot?
No, it was just the window, but that's just foreshadow. At some point, probably next season, he will probably have to kill someone.
That's also a foreshadow. That's a foreshadow right there, just to be all film school about it. Of the perfect, because one cool thing about the Ozark family house in that in their place is that big old window. You get to see inside that purple little life. If you watch the first episode of the second season, you get to see a real cool shot where they make use of the house. But that whole thing is to kind of show that they are hiding in plain sight, as well as kind of show this very same family life. And now that family life is literally shattered. That's the end of season 3, where he shoots the gun. Where the kids are not playing night, nothing's playing night, nothing's regular. Their uncle dead. Bam! Like we going crazy this next season.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, that's all I really got, y'all. Is there anything else y'all feel like that's on your heart? In your feelings about Ozark?
Ozark is ill.
But no, I think you're right though, Garrett. I felt the connection, I guess, to Breaking Bad. That's why kind of in the beginning I was a little little taken aback a little bit. I was like, oh, another Breaking Bad light kind of version, like same kind of cold tone, same kind of slow draw. I'm like another anti-hero. I was like, all right, like whatever, it's gonna be something. But until it really continued, I was like, all right, it's its own thing. It's decent. It's good.
Do you ever watch Arrested Development?
No.
You should watch Arrested Development. Now that you're chilling at lockdown, watch Arrested Development with Jason Bateman. But his character,
I know it. I just never got into it.
Check it out, because one of the things a lot of people say, his character from there, and it's like multiply like times him by Walter White, and that's kind of how you got the beginning parts of Ozark, where it's just like, but then later on it evolves into something else. Of course, what we're talking about now.
That makes sense.
But,
Jason,
you don't see a lot of it.
Jason Bateman is just one of those characters actors who he doesn't play characters. He's just Jason Bateman and everything.
Well, that's why
he's like the white Denzel.
Yeah.
White Denzel, or I say more the white Will Smith.
I was saying,
other than that one time when he tried to be the doctor, Will Smith is Will Smith in every fucking thing he does.
I mean, yes,
that movie where he was the doctor was not great.
Here's the thing about it. I feel Jason Bateman has been like even before y'all all came in here, I was kind of starting this whole thing, kind of talking about it, where I'm like, look, the last 10, 12 years, he's been really getting really good work. Not everybody's been seeing. It's not like it's been a huge box office success, but if you watched it, if you were on it and watching it, like if y'all see that movie Extract, you never seen it? Exactly. It's a good comedy. Go ahead, figure it out. Y'all on lockdown, watch Extract with Jason Bateman. It's really funny as shit. It came out like 2009 or something like that. He came out with his own movie. He directed his own movie called Bad Words. Probably ain't heard that. Probably didn't see that, John, right?
No. Bad Words was hilarious. That was good. Bad Words was that stuff.
There you go. All right, exactly. Whoever catches or saw whatever it was that I'm telling you about Jason Bateman movie, people go, because everybody else usually doesn't see it, but he's been killing it for like the past 12 years. Trust.
No, that makes sense. With Arrested, when you go into an actual serious drama that just stoic, kind of deadpan, in a way, translates really from comedy into just a straight drama. It works. That's his lane, and he's sticking with it. But they just never gave him the chance until now, or whatever, to really showcase that.
Well, that's what makes him so unique. That he's the straight man and the comic relief at the same fucking time.
But he got so good. Like that's some part of what I'm saying. Like, I'm gonna give y'all a list. Arrested Development. That straight man, awesome role. Like that character, you're gonna be watching it. Be like, oh my god, like he is like that, but it's way funnier. Watch, Bad Words or Horrible Bosses, even. When he's in that joint. Yeah, he's funny as hell in that joint. Like anything that he's in and doing, you like, man, like Jason Bateman's been killing. And the fact that I found that he was doing I saw that he directed here and there. I didn't know it was Ozark was that his baby like that. I didn't know it was his baby.
No, it's his baby so much that when we did The Outsider, he did it intentionally. He had the same crew from Ozark. So once they wrap The Outsider, they move him back to Ozark with him. He takes them all with him because he's so intentional with it, and he plans that stuff so hard. He's that good. Because we shot Outsider in the summer last summer, and he went straight to Ozark right after that because he's that good.
Yeah, if you pay attention to the cinematography, the camera movements, even to the point of just blocking and how the characters move throughout it, and you're like, oh man, these people are on this people's side, these people on that people's side, because you can see just how he did it, but it's smooth as all hell. You'd be like, man, he's doing something out here. You're like I see a lot of stuff. Like I said, that's why we talk about Power. I'm like, it ain't that good. No, y'all ain't thinking about these things that hard, player. You know,
I mean, Power is just a soap opera, which people need from time to time.
Yeah,
everything don't have to be great.
There's levels to this. Some people need heightened levels of dramas, but some people, I have people in my life that talk about Power, the best show on television.
It's really not.
Well, I was on the Power, if you want to be controversial, rip off or discount according to 50 Cent, Empire. For like this is the first season. I was like, oh, Empire ain't that bad.
Empire is good the first season, but
first
the longer it goes on,
that shit went Looney Tunes, man.
Yeah,
it got real bad.
I came back in and I'm like, did they throw the wife off the building? What are they doing? So
I don't know. I haven't even watched whatever the latest seasons are because I saw a meme the other day and it was like we all missed one episode of Empire and just never went back.
That meme
what happened. Like I watched like the first 2 episodes of some season. I've just never been back.
One thing
they trying to tell me to come back, but nah.
As a music lover, like, you know, one thing that killed me about that show, they were saying all these things in the music industry that was super outdated. It was like, it was Terrence Howard, now we gotta talk about streaming and all the blogs out there. I'm like, is it 2006? Like, when I first started talking about
hey, it's streaming, man. All right, come on, man.
Come on, man.
Next time, baby.
We got this.
I was watching Iron Man today. Next time, baby. I'm like, nope, not.
That's the shit that be killing me though. How y'all gonna get this nigga and put him in Philly? Talking like that, bruh. He in the mean streets of Philly. He just, hey, what's going on, man?
Next time, baby.
That's what's going on, man. Y'all seen that? Y'all here spraying this crack, man. You seen hey man, tell me you seen that John over there?
Hey man, I'm getting into Ozark, man. If they get Terrence Howard next season of Ozark, bro, I'll be on point, bro.
Yo, get out of here, bro.
I love it. I ain't gotta talk about it all day, man. I love it, man. Hanging out this mountain, man.
Dude, all Empire is just the sequel to Hustle and Flow. That's all that is. He made it
coming to Ozark.
Yeah, he was like, I kind of had fun making that music movie, and he makes music for real, so that probably interested him as well.
Oh man, don't even get
started.
Put
one black person in Ozark with every, one per season, maybe.
Yeah, then they brought one nigga in to be a drug dealer. Who
one thing made me laugh about it right there, where I was talking about it, I was like, yo, so someone was watching me and they're like, man, well, all the black people, I'm like, it's Ozark, Missouri, like Ozark Mountains, Missouri. I'm like, have you been to Missouri? And they're like, do you know anybody? They're like, no. And I'm like,
I get it. But so that's what they're like, we'll take one. One works. You're the FBI guy, his boyfriend. That works. That's fine.
Yeah, the black guy, yeah. He didn't do nothing this season too. He been there this whole time. He's just like,
he was just being sassy.
He's like, I got my eye on you.
He was walking around from department to department just being sassy. Like, I don't like to kill the old boyfriend. I'm on that ass.
Every time you saw him, he was overly aggressive. It's like, all right, your boyfriend's dead, but yo, chill, my nigga. Yo, it's like collectively throughout the whole season, he might have had like 15 minutes total, but that 15 minutes, it was fiery. Like, he was mad as shit.
Mad as all day, like just mad at the whole world. I'm like, okay, dude. Like,
right. To make up for him, they gave her the FBI agent who's with Marty, the pregnant one. They gave her all the work. That's what they did.
Pretty much.
She was pretty good.
She was.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, this whole FBI thing where it's just like everybody's gonna be right on his neck. It just adds on to that Marty Byrd stress that I love watching. You like this, man. he on it, man. What's he gonna do next? Yeah, it's all good, man. Just try not to die. Like, okay, cool.
He's like, I'll be your informant. I'll be your snitch. Like, look, I gave you, here's all the proof. Look, I bring you all these work. Hire me. Like, let's go. Like, that's it.
He might take the deal. Like, you think he might take the deal?
Well, didn't Helen offer up a deal too at the end?
Well, an FBI deal I'm talking about.
No, but didn't Helen also offer up an FBI deal? Like,
it don't matter what Helen offered no more.
I know what you're talking about. I think she did because
to protect him. She wanted to put him in protection, I think, right?
Yeah, it was something like they had mentioned a deal that he knew nothing about because Helen had set it up.
Yeah, I think it was something like she wanted to do some info in exchange for, I think, putting the Byrds in witness protection. I'm like, oh, Helen cares, kind of. So
right,
and then too late, she got. So no deal.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the things where I feel like Helen was smelling herself too in terms of being in position, and she was trying to move in on the Byrds. I feel like it was one of those things to go and cite Breaking Bad. If you remember the box cutter episode when Gus cut his associate's neck, because he felt like he overstepped. He was getting that walk and all that stuff like that, but he cut the dude's neck because he really overstepped his bounds. I feel Helen kind of overstepped bounds, kind of smelling herself in a way. She getting her husband beat up, with his cartel dudes and, trying to move in on the Byrds territory. And, if I put it in my name instead, and this and that. He probably knew what she was doing. He's like, you know what? Down somewhere, Helen. You connect. You just connect to people. You're just an overgrown secretary, essentially.
She's more than a connect. She's the whole plug. Nothing just to connect, bro. Come on.
Because that shit was making me mad. Like, that you would even think of taking Marty out. Like, put some respect on this man's name, bro.
Seriously.
Like, he's the one person in the show that is indispensable. Yeah, his wife got some talent. She got mouthpiece. She can talk some niggas out of some shit. But it's hella motherfuckers that can do that. It ain't too many people that's laundering money with the FBI watching you. And you like, let's snatch that nigga up and test him and see if some dumb 22-year-old redneck girl can do what he does because she's had a couple conversations with him.
Right? Yeah, but Helen was smelling us so because she was like throwing her weight around with the Byrds because it was like y'all aren't. She was basically on some. Y'all not about that life. If y'all want something done physically to anybody, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna want the cartel to do it. Y'all not gonna do it. So that's why she was kind of like bullying them because she knew that like physically they ain't gonna do shit to me. Y'all can't do shit to me. If I want something done to y'all, I'm closer to the cartel than y'all are. Yeah. And I think that added to the shock of her getting her ass smoked by the cartel because she served as the bridge.
Well, so you mean to tell me, Nico, the ultimate ending of it was the ending of Ozark season 3 was the ultimate bitch you thought moment? Like
exactly. It's like because leading up to that, you in a way you thought like either the Byrds were gonna get assassinated, Helen was going to take over the business. That's why her name was on the paperwork, et cetera, all that bullshit. And for all that to just come to a steaming halt if she gets killed. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just crazy.
So, but also, you can't forget about the dude they took to the casino. How the old man be like, you're paraded, you ain't crap, and the wife, he's like, and the wife be falling into the lake, bro. I'm like,
yeah, that was real convenient.
Funny. Like, shocking, but kind of funny. Like, she just kind of deserved it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I feel that was more of the TV show ish bullshit writing because he was just like, and she's like, and now she's like, totally dead, totally dead.
I mean, they needed a way for him to step up without doing much because it's like, by happy accident, gotta love it, right? I know.
Hey man, you can look at it as like a free divorce, you know? Like he was done. He got out of the gym for free. It didn't cost him nothing.
Right? He's like, I ain't gonna report it. She's missing. I don't know.
In terms of I was about to say this before Brian brought this up. Wendy, after her brother got handled, calling Navarro, thinking she about to get sympathy, cool points. I don't know what she thought she was gonna get, But I love that scene because this whole time she thought she's having late night conversations. She thinks she's doing certain things, so she's got that edge and positioning herself and this and that third. Oh, we're too
like, remember, I own you, bitch.
Exactly. Like, oh, you thought you was cute?
Yeah, exactly.
Cute. You thought you was somebody special.
I told you my dreams. That you don't work for me anymore.
I got people to bed too. Girl goes like he clicked like, oh,
not who he's talking to. Like, come on.
He's talking to girl. Oh yeah,
he might come back on that, bruh. He's smelling Wendy, bruh. That nigga knows wide open. He talked to her for a whole 2 goddamn minutes, and he calling the bitch, telling her his dreams.
Taking off, like, I want something right, and just saying, girl.
That's why he was trying to see if Marty was dispensable for real.
Right. That's funny.
So
Laura Linney does those faces though. That's the only thing I'll say. Like for Wendy, you see her like getting at somebody. That little pleasant little smile. You're like, dog, nah, she's just getting at people. Nah,
she's scheming, bro. She's scheming. That's all that is, bro.
You're like, ugh. You see how they together.
When she does the smile, I'll be worried. I'll be like, oh shit.
I'm all getting in my gills, bro.
Right. Well, it worked in the trailer, and they brought it back in the dream sequence where she's like, you know what, Marty? Get that. But I was like, oh.
And that's why I thought she was tripping. This whole season, I'm like, okay, so like this man been really trying to keep y'all from death this whole time.
And you just
him. Like, I'm sorry, lady, but it's certain things that I just was not cool with how Wendy was.
Yeah, I get it. You regret that you turned into a housewife or some shit like that, but becoming Tony Montana is not the way that you get back at that.
She wants Tony Montana and Scarface, bro. She thinks she's somebody, but she's learning.
I mean, you can say that for Walter White, I guess, too, in a lot of ways, where he's like, oh, you could have been this and that and third. But it's one of the things where, because she's always had that thing of unrealized potential. The Obama campaign that she worked for years ago.
Oh, yeah.
He was actually Obama. It was one of the things where there's a little bit of like I said, missed potential there. So I feel like this is her next level. I can just go and do this. She is the Walter White of the relationship.
Unlike Breaking Bad, though, they didn't make her another Skyler. Let's make them somewhat equal villains in a way, like equal power trips. Because Skyler was just like the whole series. Who are you really? I don't know. I hate you, but I hate whatever. But here, they're both in on the game, and she's playing it just as hard as he is.
Yeah,
they didn't involve women characters when Skyler was still being written. So that's what she was doing. Oh, I'm over here. Okay, I'm smoking with a baby. What are you doing? This and that. I'm like, there's like certain elements. I was like, they could have written Skyler better. But
back in the day, though, they didn't do that much back in the day. So.
I don't know if it was the writer. I feel like it's more the actress.
Yeah, you think so?
I feel like something about her is just very unlikable. Because is mostly reasonable. Like, this is how a normal person would react to find out their high school chemistry teacher husband is a fucking drug kingpin. This is what she would be doing, protecting her children and her family. But she's like universally hated by everyone.
Yo, she is. But you're right. That's the smart writing.
Even though she is
smart writing, they're like, how would that be in real life? You're confused. You're angry. Now you're trying to protect your children.
I have a handicapped child, and you're off being a drug lord. How the fuck else is no normal person
would be like? He should have been like, that's what he was doing at the time. He's like, well, girl, I'm a chemistry teacher, and you over here selling $9 on eBay. No, they were broke. I can't stand that argument when they talk about Breaking Bad. I'm like, where the money gonna come from? I'm sorry. I had all the thoughts to do stuff because it was one of the things he was like, what are you gonna do, Skyler? What's it gonna be? She's like, I have nothing, Walt. I can't even keep you out of my bed. I'm like, yeah, I know. I was over here saying, I'm over here yelling at the screen. Like, yeah, I know you ain't got nothing. Wendy's got something. And when I watch Ozark, I'm like, she's got something. You can watch it like, no, I can see why her and Marty together, XYZ. They wrote her better. Skyler,
right? But again, and too, they started the series off at odds. Like him finding out, oh, you been cheating? Day 1, episode 1, they've been at contention. So all this is like the power trip in there too. So
she's definitely better written, but I just don't think Skyler was that poorly written. I think it was just in the way she was portrayed somehow. Because nothing she said was unreasonable or over the top annoying. It was just the delivery and her persona and her, like the director didn't write how she was going to act.
Right, exactly.
Well, all right. We'll have a Breaking Bad discussion for that. I was like season 3 because I was like, I don't want to go too far on that joint. Like, but Ozark basically, I feel like they evolved that type of character because I feel like they are so similar type of shows. Wendy is just better, like I said, better written and better character for us. So I was like, we like Wendy better.
Yeah, they gave her something. They gave her something to do.
Well, no, but I said yesterday. Again, though, so yesterday, that Laura Linney almost passed on that role. She, in part of her coming to that role, she had him bump up her character more, so because she had more to do. Hence, why we like her.
That definitely shows in season 3. I feel like they had some real conversation and renegotiation before the season came, and she was like, "I need to do some shit because you know who I am."
Laura Linney,
aren't you Laura Dern? No, that's the other one. That's not me.
Other Laura, sir.
But yeah, no, the politics shit and all that with her was interesting. It was an interesting arc. It put her in an element to have, and
a nice trip to Ozark this time around. I felt like I don't think it was that crazy. I feel like the team did a great job. It was I'm watching it through and through right now, season 1, 2. It's consistent. If you watch it from season 2 to 3, it looks consistent. So it was one of the things where you can binge it.
That's how I watched it, and that's exactly why I hated it. I hadn't even seen season 2 until season 3 came out. I watched them both together consecutively, and it ramped up in a way that was just very unnatural to me.
Damn.
It took the fuck off like a rocket ship, which is cool if you come into a head and it's ended.
I'm about to say, do you know how cartels work? I was like, I don't know, bro. Cartels, bro, y'all know that whole Chirac shit was not that was cartel. All that shit was cartel. Yo, Chapo. They're shooting each other. The cartel.
Yeah, but they're in Ozark. The whole point of the show that it was a step separated from that. If you want to bring it in the end, I'm all for it. But I just think it ramped up too quick.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, like they got this casino, and that's the thing about it I felt was cool too. They have so many endeavors, and Marty's like, I'm just trying to keep y'all good. If we do this, we don't get ping money. And as soon as they get another casino, buddy come in there. So we gotta check this shit out. I'm like, yeah, and I'm yelling at the screen. Like I feel like there's certain things where, that's you, Zoe. Where you're like, you're Marty. Like I'm trying to keep it contained, where everything's being pushed forward. Like Wendy and everybody else is pulling it forward. Navarro is pulling it forward into that crazy shit. So like, you don't want to go nowhere just as bad as Marty didn't want to go nowhere. You gotta be in that cave down there. They gotta ask you what you want. Because I guess you say you want more to say. You can't do it, bro. They can't do it now. Like, I feel like this is gonna be like, I can't even fathom, because I love how Ozark just makes you like, oh, now Wyatt's fucking old ladies. You're like, wait, what? There's all types of shit. Like, I would never guess that. Like
that's what I didn't like, because to me that didn't feel like the Ozark. That's not the kind of show it was. That teenage boys are fucking old ladies.
That's not the only type of show. It's a thing where like they always had an air of unpredictability or shock to it. Whereas the thing where even Dale getting shot in the face with the whole redneck thing, and just like the way they tone it out, or like the retribution of them taking out their son essentially, for the whole thing. There's like ways they go about it that are shocking, and tonage that they. Exactly. Even the FBI guy's fucking the guy he's looking into the gay relationship between them. That's highly irregular. So it was one of the things where they always had that.
To me, one of the things was whenever I look at people talking about Ozark in real life, I don't know about the internet, but a lot of people tried to watch it and they all came back with the same complaint: nothing's happening. And I think they took that shit to heart in season 3.
I don't know who you're talking to.
Most people that I've spoken to and tried to get to watch the Ozark, they're like, I watched a couple episodes and nothing's happening.
Yeah, right. I watched. I told my coworker
the tone. It's a slow burn, and they're either not used to it, or they just don't like a slower paced, slow burn. Like
I mean, there's a reason. There's a reason. Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say, there's a reason Power is as big as it is. Every goddamn scene is drama. Every fucking scene, something is happening.
Yeah, sometimes you want fast food. Sometimes you want a nice cooked meal. Where it's just like, yeah, Ozark, they cook that shit up, and it's nice. You're gonna take a minute to get to it, but when you eating it, you're gonna be like, bruh.
Nah, tell them that just want McDonald's and chicken nuggets.
Yeah. That's why it's over. McDonald's is over 1 billion served. So shit, that's how that goes.
Well, if that's the case, you want this Sunday White Trash Game of Thrones, aka the new episode of Tiger King. That's what that is on Sunday. New episode.
No, dude, I watched Tiger King. I just could not stop. It was too much.
That was so
exactly. That's your fast food right there. That's that fast food.
I spent 9 years in Florida.
9
years in Florida, dog, and that's what I fully believe. I looked at, I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. Like 5 guys like this dude.
Dude, my friends in Tampa be like, I know that street she's on. That's not she's a hooker, bro. I know that street in Tampa. I'm like, okay, I don't know. You know,
nah, dude, that place is, there's a lot of Joe Exotics out there. So
it was just so good.
Florida, man.
Everything about it was good and just so well put together.
Exactly. Every episode is something.
Every episode is a fucking masterpiece. And it's the type of if they wrote it,
first you like
happen.
First you okay with the
real life though.
Wyatt. Now you on Tiger King. Ozark though.
I can't real life. Like, this is real life shit. These are real people who really did this shit. And it's something that you can't write. Like, if someone wrote this, I'd be like, this is a garbage TV show. But you like, this happened? Word? Really?
I'm gonna need you to do that same thought.
This man has a tiger sex cult? Really? Did he pay them $100 a month or some shit like that? Really?
When I went to Netflix, I see it was #1. I'm like, dang, Ozark #2. I was like, what? How does Jason Bateman feel about that? I felt for. I'm like,
he's feeling good. It doesn't matter. He's feeling good.
I know. I'm joking, of course, but I'm over here like that #1, #2. I'm like the actor. I'm acting. I'm directing. Joe Exotic gets #1.
Exactly. He didn't scrutinize every scene for symbolism and shots and where everybody's going to be standing. The mood lighting that's going to be in there and all this shit. He just stayed up all night. Can't sleep at night over the most minute shit, and then like somebody come and shit on you.
Joe Exotic pop up there. Carol fucking Baskin.
The gay nigga with 3 husbands raising time.
That bitch Carol Baskin.
I couldn't watch it for too long. I had it on. I was working, and I'm over here looking at the back. I'm over here, what the hell is this? And over here, I can't focus on this dude.
I could not stop, bro. He's just so fucking dynamic. Carol fucking Baskins.
Right, Jason, Carol like, am I losing to Tiger and Matt?
That's your boy. All right,
but they are making a real show about it, though, allegedly. So I'm gonna need you to keep that same comment because when they do make it, they're making it now or later.
I mean, it makes sense because they have all that footage that blew up in the house. So I'm sure.
Well, no. I mean, they're making it as a real scripted show.
That's what I'm saying. They have all this untold footage that blew up in the Gator house. So they probably using that shit from the people who was there to reconstruct what we didn't see.
Wow.
For Sunday, but in general, they're making an actual series out of the show. I think they got Kate McKinnon from SNL. She's gonna play Carol allegedly. So
I heard about cast. They're really doing it. Wow.
They're really actually making it to a show.
Man. Yeah. They come around. We're gonna make a show of this.
So keep that energy, bro, because keep that energy, bro. Yeah.
We're gonna be in quarantine for 4 seconds and they over here like we got.
I'm gonna check that shit out. I started watching the first episode, but I gotta finish it.
Yeah.
Bro, finish it, bro. It gets every episode there's like 3 plot twists, bro. Watch that shit.
Just when you think it's getting crazier, it does. It is real life.
Right?
Guys, I appreciate y'all coming through though and saying what's up, chilling with y'all, talking shit about Ozark. Honestly, we could do this any other time and stuff like that. I'm always have more topics and stuff.
Man, thank you for facilitating this shit. This shit was dope.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Sitting talking the wall and shit, bro.
Yeah, I'm starting it up. I'm kind of getting more into the habit of streaming more and more. So, expect a lot more going on. I'm making a Facebook page and I got the Instagram. I'll probably send it out into the chat and this, that, and the third. But yeah, stay tuned. Y'all know me. But I'm gonna be out of here though.
All right, Cass.
All right.
See ya.
Boom. in the broadcast.